When did cats first appear on Earth? Welcome to Origins of the Wild. If you're fascinated by ancient creatures and evolutionary mysteries, you're in the right place. Today we re-uncovering a furry chapter of Earth's history. When did cats first appear on Earth? Let's begin. To understand the origins of cats, we must journey back tens of millions of years before their existence. Somewhere in the late Cretaceous period, around 82 million years ago, the ancestors of modern cats were just another small animals scurrying around the forest. You wouldn't have noticed them among the dinosaurs and other prehistoric giants. These early mammals were tiny, no bigger than a house cat themselves, and they spent most of their time in trees, darting between branches, preying on small critters. But even then, they showed signs of what was to come. They had claws, not the retractable claws of modern cats, but sturdy ones useful for climbing and catching prey. And they had teeth, sharp and pointed like those of a weasel, perfect for catching and tearing up small animals. These were the miacids, the common ancestors of modern carnivores, including cats. But life wasn't easy for these early predators. The world was full of dangers, from the mighty T-Rex to smaller, more nimble predators. And so, over millions of years, these mammals evolved and diversified, giving rise to many species and eventually splitting into two major groups, the feliforms and the caniforms. The caniforms went on to become dogs, wolves, and other canines. But that's a story for another day. Around 42 million years ago, the feliforms branched off, eventually leading to the very first true cats. Now, pinpointing when cats first appeared isn't exact. Scientists use fossils, DNA, and other evidence to piece together their story. And some researchers believe that the split between feliforms and caniforms happened earlier or later than others. But one thing is certain. Around 25 million years ago, Europe was home to the first true cat, Proalurus. Imagine you're strolling through a prehistoric European forest, the air thick with the scent of pine and damp earth. Towering trees create a cathedral-like atmosphere, and the forest floor is a tapestry of fallen leaves and dappled sunlight. Suddenly, a rustle in the underbrush, and there it is, a lithe, agile creature with piercing yellow eyes, sharp as a tack. Leaps and bounds effortlessly through the trees. It is Proalurus, the first true cat, a master of its domain. It's about the size of a modern house cat, with a sleek, muscular body, perfectly adapted for hunting in dense undergrowth. Its tail is long and bushy, helping it keep its balance as it leaps from branch to branch. Its fur is short and grizzled, offering some protection from the elements, and perhaps even a hint of camouflage. But it's the Proalurus's head that truly sets it apart. Its muzzle is pointed and its ears are rounded, much like a modern cat's. Its teeth are sharp and scissor-like, perfect for catching and tearing up prey. The Proalurus is a solitary hunter, spending its days lounging in sun-drenched clearings or stalking through the underbrush in search of food. Its keen eyesight and sense of hearing allow it to spot potential prey from afar, while its padded paws ensure that it moves silently and swiftly. Proalurus roamed across Europe for several million years, but their reign wasn't absolute. There were other predators in the forest, such as the nimravids, also known as the saber-toothed cats. Their name comes from their long, saber-like canine teeth, which they used to take down large prey. But the Proalurus wasn't intimidated. It was quick and agile, able to dodge the saber-tooth's attacks and strike back with lightning-fast reflexes. As the European continent shifted and changed over millions of years, so did the Proalurus. Some grew larger, becoming powerful hunters that could take down large prey, while others remained small and nimble, perfectly adapted for life in the undergrowth. And as new species evolved, the Proalurus gave rise to the majestic big cats and wild cats we know today. The lineage leading to modern big cats diverged from the rest of the cat family somewhere around 16 million years ago. This ancient branch of the cat family includes some of the most iconic and powerful predators of all time, such as the saber-toothed cats, lions, tigers, jaguars, and leopards. Let's take a closer look at one of the most famous ancient cats, Smilodon, aka the saber-toothed cat. Imagine you're standing on a windswept plain in South America, the sky vast and unending. The sun beats down on the grasslands, and in the distance you see a massive cat stalking its prey. Its fur is short and sleek, perfectly adapted for life on the plains. But it's the cat's teeth that truly set it apart. Two long, saber-like canines protrude from its upper jaw, like a pair of scimitars ready for a deadly duel. These formidable weapons give the cat its name, Smilodon, meaning grin of death. The Smilodon was a skilled hunter, using its speed and agility to chase down its prey. Its powerful legs propelled it forward like a tank, and its tail kept it balanced as it made sharp turns. Once within striking range, the Smilodon would spring into action. It lunged forward, extending its neck and releasing a pair of bone-crushing bites. Its saber-like canines sank into the flesh of its victim, and the hunt was over in a flash. The Smilodon wasn't just a fearsome predator, it was also a symbol of power and majesty. Its massive frame and imposing presence commanded respect and awe. It was the undisputed king of its domain, a true monarch of the wild. But the Smilodon's reign was not to last. Around 12,000 years ago, possibly due to climate change, the Smilodon and many other large mammals disappeared from the earth, and only small cats remained. The ancestors of modern wildcats, including lions, tigers, jaguars, and leopards, continued to roam the earth for millions of years, adapting to new environments and giving rise to new species. But where did domestic cats come from? The story of how cats became our beloved companions is a fascinating one. And the evidence suggests that it all began around 9,000 years ago in ancient Egypt. At this point, you might be wondering, why Egypt? What was so special about that time and place that led to the domestication of cats? Well, it turns out that ancient Egypt was a perfect storm of circumstances that brought cats and humans together in an unexpected way. For starters, Egypt was home to a number of large wildcat species, including the African wildcat, which is still found in parts of Africa today. These wildcats were solitary and elusive creatures, perfectly adapted to life on the Nile River and its many tributaries. But they had a unique advantage over their counterparts elsewhere. In Egypt, these wildcats had learned to adapt to human settlements. They were drawn to the abundance of rodents and other small animals that lived among humans. And they were willing to brave the risks of human-wildlife interactions in order to secure a meal. This adaptability may have been a critical trait in the early stages of domestication. And let's talk about those ancient Egyptians. They were a sophisticated civilization with a deep connection to the natural world. While they worshipped a number of gods and goddesses, one in particular stood out, Bastet, the cat goddess. Bastet was often depicted as a woman with a cat's head, and she was associated with fertility, protection, and motherhood. As the worship of Bastet spread throughout Egypt, so did the reverence for cats in general. Egyptians began keeping cats as pets, and they quickly became an integral part of Egyptian society. So how did this work in practice? We don't have a lot of evidence to go on. But we do know that ancient Egyptians kept cats both for their beauty and their usefulness. Cats were seen as a luxury item, a symbol of wealth and power. Only the elite could afford to keep them as pets, and they were often given as gifts to show favor or solidify an alliance. But cats were also valued for their ability to control rodents, and they were kept in homes, farms, and even temples. Speaking of temples, cats were also kept in temples as offerings to Bastet and other deities. In fact, the worship of Bastet is believed to have played a key role in the development of cat sanctuaries, which were places where cats could live and be cared for without the threat of harm. The most famous of these sanctuaries was located in the city of Bubastis, and it is believed to have housed thousands of cats. The relationship between cats and humans was not always smooth sailing, however. There were times when cats were seen as a nuisance or even a danger to humans. In ancient Rome, for example, cats were associated with witches and evil, and they were often persecuted. But despite these setbacks, cats continued to make inroads into human society. And eventually they became the beloved companions that we know today. Looking back, it's hard to imagine a world without cats. They're a constant presence in our lives, bringing us joy, comfort, and endless entertainment. But their story is not one of simple domestication. It's a tale of adaptation, survival, and ultimately companionship. From their humble beginnings as solitary hunters to their current status as global superstars, cats have come a long way. And it all started around 9,000 years ago when these two species, so different yet so compatible, began to share the earth. When did cats first appear on Earth? Thanks for watching Origins of the Wild. If you love uncovering nature's forgotten stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts below. Till next time, stay wild.